guys, welcome to another exciting episode of the VIBE&VAULT. And today I am joined by the one and only Peter Salasya. Habari yako mheshimiwa? Tumekungoja, but it's worth it.
Sure.
Uko poa?
Uko fiti.
Welcome. Feel free.
Yeah.
Now, before tuanze interview, I want to tease your brain a little. So mheshimiwa, I'll be giving you, you'll be guessing who I am talking about. So I'll describe a politician, uniambie ni nani. Sawa, tuanze? Aya. 047 Dimples.
Sakati.
Aya. PhD, Embakasi, his TBMness.
Babu.
Bad girl, Suba.
Mili.
Hey, umekuja prepared. Okay, Sugoi.
Ruto.
Umepata zote. All right, so basically we would like to know a brief description. Who is Peter Salasya?
This description is so wide. Peter Salasya is a member of parliament of Mumias' constituency. Is Awanga. Aluya Wanga.
What is Wanga?
Wanga is from the Wanga kingdom.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I'm from Wanga kingdom.
It still exists?
Yeah, it does exist. It exists. So, I'm a member of parliament of Mumias' constituency. Aluya from Wanga community. Or yes, Wanga community. Basically that is me. Yes.
All right.
Unless maybe you wanted other, because you asked me who is Peter Salasya.
Single, married?
I'm very much single. Yes.
Okay, so candidates wanaweza tuma applications kwako?
Definitely, we are in the process.
We're in the process. All right, so Salasya, I'd like to know when you were vying to be an MP, kuna MCA, kuna MP, kuna governor, na kuna senator. Why MP?
I think that is the biggest question, and I think first of all, when I was making a decision, it really every time it makes me come out very clearly that for anyone to be success, you must always call for yourself a meeting. I consulted, but I never got the answer. But the answer only came from me. So I believe, like, sometimes all decision, you cannot be made decision by somebody else. It's about you and to run with that decision. So because I had two options, first of all, politics was never in my mind. Because I remember when I was in Egerton, I was just doing politics for fun and just to serve people, but it was very limited. It wasn't that like I want to be the student leader, I become this person in life. I wasn't this. But my back in the university, I was all about to serve the students and maybe that ego at that particular point. Yeah. And then later on, when I did it, first time I did get it right. Then in third year as vice chairman, as the student leadership of Egerton, I made it. And so then later on, there was some kind of rumors. People would just come and tell you like, where is Kumoju utakuwa MP? And very specific MP. But I never took it serious because it was never in my mind. And that's why sometimes they will always say that a voice will always come. Yeah. And that voice, you must listen to it like you are a great woman. Sometimes you may fail, how? So, but with time, you're going to understand who you are. Yeah. And I think going forward after the graduation, when I got my first job was to sell bicycles. I was posted in Kakamega. So I used to walk in funerals, I addressed people, just advocate awareness of the help. By that time, help was just when it was coming to the private students, 2014, I think around there. And so 2011, around that is the time when it was now being rolled to the private students, or they were going to the regular. So when it reached about 2014, 2015, people now started tell us what you want. Tell us what you want. Now it comes like Now, do I have to go for this thing? But I remembered, sometimes when I was the student leader, I used to invite the leaders to come to speak, like the area member of parliament could speak things. But now, later on, because when you're in the school, in the university, you're a student, you might not have a lot of information. Tells you about this, about the Mumias sugar, how it's doing well with its management, doing so well. But when I went there now, I realized these people were lying to our people, saying that they were fighting these people, but instead, by that time, they were embracing those people as the best performers, the best managers running the Mumias. Then I say that there is a loophole somewhere. These people, they are suffering injustice. Suffering injustice of information, the injustice of leadership and everything like that. So that is the moment I realized that maybe. Then I was like, now, because you want to go for the MP. The heart wants to go for the MP. But now the resources are limited. You cannot move the entire constituency. But maybe the ward, it is what you can afford because it's a little bit smaller. You can move from point to point, from door to door campaign. I tell you, it was a bit. So, but every time I used to go and say that today I'm going to announce I'm going for the MCA, that day, maybe I can just say that it was God's plan that maybe I go for the MP.
Yeah.
Because I plan like today I'm going to declare, then I say my points. When I reach to the point, then I forget that I was to announce my candidate for the MCA. But the most important thing is that I did a lot of consultation. But every time somebody tells me that you're going for the MCA, my heart couldn't get it right. It wasn't at peace. And I felt like there is something wrong somewhere. I have to make it right decision. So I went and sit and just asked myself, let me go for the MP. And I made it and I decided, let me go. It was a very big decision for me. Maybe one or two people could understand what I have, the vision that I had. Even my own family, my own mother, brothers, and everybody were against it because it was like, this is an ocean. You're going into an ocean. How will you swim through it? Because it's believed like, you must have money, you must have a family, you must have got a good house, you must got all the traits, and it has never happened in the history because of the trends of the previous leadership that have been there before. So in regard to what you have just asked me, that what made you to go to decide for the MP and not MCA, and the question answer becomes like, it was a deliberate decision that this is what makes me happy. That if I go and fail, but at least I'll go in the history. And there is another woman who came and told me, you will go into history as the first person, youth. But she didn't know that maybe time is going to come. So what really led me to go for the MP is that I saw the loophole around, and it was like in my heart. And one thing I learned about this is that if you want to move to another level, besides other things, that because people goes into politics, into leadership with different hearts, different minds, different ideas. That those who go into leadership to protect their wealth, that those who go into politics to just the ego, that those who goes into the leadership to serve with the heart of serving the people. But also there is before the election, what you is in your mind, and then after your mind, post-election. And before the post-election, we call it pre-election. Pre-election mind and then post-election mind. So I believed in myself as the person, and that was the drive behind the people. Like, there is no any other person who can change these people, the lives of these people, other than me. And I convinced myself. So I think that is a very good answer.
Yeah.
Though it's not so precise, but it can tell you that what really led me is what I believed in.
Yeah.
So for someone else who maybe might be listening to me, is that it's better be driven by what is inside your heart.
Yeah.
And the moment if I could have been driven like money thing, And this is what really affects most of the youth. Because most of the youth, when they start have ambition to become maybe the MCA, maybe the MP, or whoever they want to become, on the way, because they get to have the money idea. So now it becomes so easy for anyone who has the idea of money can come and confuse this person. Maybe I'll party jobs. And that is how the youth who have bright futures gets deteriorated on the way, because the opponent comes, they corrupt them, give them something small, then they go and expose them. So, but also in the process, there's also one thing I learned myself, and which is very important. I learned that who is my real opponent? You have to study, and that is what I used to do, I had to do. And so to avoid this issue of youth never getting to the ballot, because right now we're heading to 2027. Most of the young people wants to go to vie for these seats. Yes, they want this. Maybe they might have showed the interest. But as time goes by, once they start moving, their opponent will use all the means around to get them, and they give them maybe 50,000, 100,000, and then they say that the one platform, and then it's that is it. So first, what I also did, who are my opponents? And I dissociated with all my opponents around, because I didn't want to fall into their trap. Yeah, that is maybe the man, maybe.
Yeah. Let me remind you about something you posted 4 years to elections. You posted on 12th of August 2018. Mumias East MP 2022 ni Peter Kalerwa Salasya. I prophesy it and claim it by faith. Remain blessed. Do you remember?
Hallelujah.
You posted this on 12th August 2018.
2018.
Yes, 4 years before the
4 years.
elections. Do you remember writing it?
And by the way, and I think, you see, in life, it's always good to prophesy yourself.
Yes.
Sometimes prophesy.
Yeah.
And by the way, I never used to be a good speaker. I was very shy. So sometimes I go to the toilets. When I go there every morning, I start practicing how to speak the same as me. So you have to practice, and tafanya hivi. So you and I think because it was terrible, because I felt like after 2017, I was having a lot of confidence that I'm going to be the elected MP of Mumias, because everybody go to clap for you. But now you see, when the voting whatever started.
Yeah.
Voting were almost about 1 month to the election. I really have never worked in the entire constituency. I felt like, oh my goodness, will I? But now when it reached to the point of counting the votes in 2017, even I could just go in a polling station, I get 0. So everybody I see around this village, this one, they didn't give me even a single vote. So you just look at them. They never voted for me.
You in 2017?
Yes, I won in 2017.
Oh, and you lost?
And I lost. I got 254 votes, 254. And by then I felt like a rejected person. I felt like a person who, you ask yourself. Sometimes when you are rejected, you ask yourself many questions. Am I mad the way they call me madman? And there's a guy, I used to post those when I used to wear long makoti mrefu, those long blazers. You are not buying. Somebody gives, my bro gives me. Yeah. So they are so they get it. Yeah. But you're so confident. I don't even remember during those times, by the way, did I used to look at myself or and that's okay. That's a very good lesson also. Yeah. Confidence. And you should always express of who you are. Sometimes you might not have good clothes, but put on the tie. Yeah, put on the tie, put on that blaze of yours. And it shows that you have an ambition. And that ambition might always come to pass. And I think that is how I used to be, always on the tie. But as a tie, you make a Reeboks, you make a nini, like uko tu. So what maybe I will just say in regard to what you have just said. After I went to have a healing season, I went to a healing season period whereby I had to ask myself many questions. Life was very hard. After I had lost everything, you lost everything until my girlfriend that I had, she had gone. We were staying together. She has gone. Ile nyumba umekuwa ukikaa nayo, ulikuwa unakaa kwa nyumba sijui 1000 ngapi, you can't even afford and whatever. It's a long story. Imagine tulikuwa tunaiba pale, stima life was very tough. And I remember even ndio tulikuwa tunakuja na sport pesa. So I used to sell zile sport pesa 10 bob. Unapata tunaenda betting inaungua. Yeah. So, but anyway, so after then, nika-heal life, ikakuwa so hard. But nikakuwa na mkutano with myself. I said, let me now go for this thing. Yeah. Let me just go with these 254 votes. Let me start congratulating people. Say, Mriomono, thank you so much for those who voted for me. There is another time. Yeah. Like in our culture, and our people are very good, and they're very super intelligent. Yeah. Like they know how to analyze who a leader is. They will get to know. And by the way, they will make sure that they want to know who exactly you are. They don't want somebody who gets bitter, angry, and just quickly. Yeah. They want to see somebody mwenye akikasirika, will he be able to recover from? Kuna mtu ambaye akikasirika anakuona tu hivi because nyinyi mliniangusha kura sawa, wacha nione. So they will want to observe you, and it's a very good thing, and maybe it's a very good thing. They looked at me like whatever. They started looking at characters, and in the process, in 2018 August, I prophesied to myself and said that I'll be the MP of Mumias East come 2022. And that one also teaches me about the power in your tongue. If you and that is what I said, and I will always say here, that Kenyans have to blame for themselves. Let me we'll talk to some politics now here, maybe. But I'm not speaking politics. I'm being spiritual. I'm being spiritual. Yeah. And maybe some leaders even at all spoke about it, and some other people spoke about it. Yeah. And I was also, the moment you call yourself hustler, you will always mean to be a hustler. Yeah. Even if you become how much wealthy you are, but you call yourself a hustler, you always mean to be a hustler. A hustler remains to be struggling left, right. And that is why you find like the country has never settled down, because we called ourselves to be hustlers. Yeah. That was the spirit. We called ourselves the wheelbarrow, and we have to push ourselves like struggling. And that is why you see like the Kenyans are struggling today. You try, they say that the clerk himself of the hustler. So sometimes the power of their tongue will always determine what next for you. Yeah. And I want to tell the churches that now they are silent. They were very busy receiving monies of the Varambes. They should now call for prayer day and rebuke the spirit of hustlerness. So that now, and the wheelbarrow, the spirit of pushing the life. So that now Kenyans now can, by the way, and that is it. Because it's the head of state. If you live like a king, you live like a king. Yeah. If you live like a pauper, everything around you becomes like pauper. And that's why people want to be going sold there. We are exporting people to go and work from the other countries. We are doing whatever. So it's all about that. Yeah. And that is also is a spiritual matter. And this spiritual matter, we must denounce it. So I'm telling the pastors there outside there, the bishops who are there outside there, that I want you to call for a meeting and pray and refuse that we shall not call up ourselves to be hustlers. But we shall be sons and daughters of God, who are full of riches, as the riches shall always follow us.
Amen.
Sindio?
Amen.
So you say, wewe umesema niliprophesy.
Yes.
Sasa hao walisema clerk.
Yeah.
So it's not working, it's not adding up.
Yeah.
So, and we say that ourselves, we shall not, even the Bible tells us, that we shall not be sent in the land of foreigners. Ay, hallelujah. Oh. So, wow, we can also create our own job opportunities.
Exactly.
Yeah. And by then that reminds me, like, for example, you know, we talk so much, but we do very little. Look at this time, like, the president have been talking. I'm not saying here that I'm competing or but you have to speak about what is happening and what is really needed. Like, we have been speaking about the digital hubs. You are in the digital sector, the digital space, where the president says that we shall have the staff, the every ward to have whatever. Up to today, nothing has been done. We are the members of parliament who are supposed to implement such kind of programs. So we are still talking, and with no action. So again, that one now comes to another point. There are those people who are there praying every now and then. You are putting God into a temptation. If you prophesy, work towards it. Right?
Yes.
You can prophesy, yes. Keep on praying, hallelujah. Amen. Oh, hallelujah.
Amen.
You go and write. By the way, you go and write your stuff. Like, you know, you go and take your altar to the altar, which is very good. By the way, you go and take whatever to the altar there. In writing, you know, we go to the kesha. And oh my goodness, I need to go back to the keshas. I'm going to kesha. Because it's something so good. And I think I should go back. You guys, my people take me to the kesha. If Friday ikifika mtupeleke siku moja kwa kesha, it's good. Because that is the time also you get time to present your petition, your cries to God, to your God, and say that this is what I want. But now the question comes, like, as you petition the Lord to do whatever you want to do, whatever you want to, are you making an action towards it? Maybe you are a youth is there. Maybe you are looking for a job. You are not writing, you're not making applications. Do as many applications as you can. But as you pray, also walk into them. Even sometimes not dropping, but also going and approaching the people. Sometimes, and this is what I've just discovered, sometimes you might be looking for people to work for you. And maybe you don't know someone in mind, but you remember there was somebody who came into my office at one point and approached me that he wants a job. So you pray, and then God will always remind, and I there's somebody. And that is how things work. So I prophesied and worked so hard. To see it coming, yes.
And probably, now that you've mentioned the hustler, you know, the president was a big believer in the hustler and the wheelbarrow. Do you think the president is promoting people to live like paupers?
No, number one. You see, I've seen so many people who have worked in Saudi. When they come back, they're almost the same. In fact, they have wasted time. They have wasted families. Most of them, they break their family marriages. Wewe ni kama ni mdem, ukienda huko utapata bwanako atakaa mwaka moja, bado na contract yao, it takes too long. Maybe kurenew na kuambia wacha ni renew contract 10. Contract maybe ni ya 2 years. Unarudi after 2 years unapata mzee amesha move on. Then unarudi kwa single life. Sasa wewe umeenda hata kama ni pesa, money cannot make you enjoy your life. And that is why we say that we need to talk about how can we create our own job opportunities here. The spirit of exporting human during like those ancient days that people are being now taken, but now we are formalizing and being going and worked as slaves in other countries. Why can't we make those people who are going to work from there? Look at the countries like the Singapore, whereby, look, and maybe you have studied like in organizational theory. One thing that I learned is that most of these companies, like let's say laptops, these were laptops, like for example, HP or whatever, I don't know, something like that. The people who had the idea was where? Was in America. But now they identified the labor was in Singapore, whereby there was cheap labor. So they didn't export these people to go to work from America, but they came to Singapore. So it is always good, like, for example, if we train our people, we say that we have the labor, we have the market. Why can't you come and operate from our country, this company that is there? These raw materials that we are exporting there for value addition, why can't we approach and bring that? We have the market, we have the capital, we have the labor, and we have everything. So that the notion of taking our people on, like in exile to go and work, and now we are celebrating for 250,000. 250,000. So you are celebrating 250,000. How many people are we in Kenya? So, what shall we export everybody? Look at this. We need to look at the private, and that is what we are saying. And we cannot live by hope. Yes, hope is life. But hope without action. Even the Bible tells us. And that Paul was telling us. Paulo alikuwa anatuambia. Na alikuwa anaambia wa Korintho. Na anaambia wa Efeso. Ya kwamba faith without action is dead. So we cannot just remain to be hopeful for tomorrow when we are not working towards it. And that is why we are also saying, like, that's why you see, even things are not adding up. And just to answer your question, something must be done. And maybe you might be suffering. You might be suffering, right? But there is something bigger that we need to handle than just what we see by heckling at Ruto, telling him, oh, ujafanya. First of all, the narrative was built on the altar of God. Today I want to be very spiritual. I want to be very deep in the spirit. It was built on the altar. So we must go back to the altar and refuse it.
Deep, yes. Probably let's talk about parliament now. Salasya, I mean, you've gone to parliament. What can you say is something that you've learned to use? Unajua huko kuna microphones, tunaona sijui nini mnafinyanga hapo chini. How has it been adapting?
Now, number one, the parliament is not that the way you just think. And that is why I will always say that we need a lot of reforms in parliament. We need a lot of reforms because you never know. We must fix our system. We must fix the system. There are so much loopholes in the parliament that it's not making it to be vibrant the way it's supposed to be. Because today we might have a rogue president. We might have maybe the president I want to do this. We don't have Kibakis. We don't have whatever. We don't have, so we just come with somebody else who thinks if he wakes up today and says he wants this. I think things just happen because the parliament is controlled by one person running all the show. We must look at how the parliament runs. So if there is any amendments on how to empower the parliament, on how to reform this country, we must start with the parliament, how it operates. And that is why you see, like, we only have like 2 people speaking. When it's very hot, the majority leader. You heard recently when the MP of Embakasi Central or Embakasi Central or something, when he was talking about Central, yes, he didn't elect Imani Kishungwa to be his majority leader. He was, which means that he was elected, he was selected or appointed from. But as long as we still have a way where the president has the hand, sometimes you get tired of it.
No.
And that is why even the Gen Zs you could have, you rose, fight for your voice to be heard, because now the members of parliament, their hands are tied up. And anything that comes in a pit, as long as imetoka kwa executive. So we must have a vibrant parliament that can check the executive. And if only if it is independent, can make its own independent decisions that will impact the progress of this country. And that is one thing I've just learned, that the parliament, which is supposed to be the way we used to learn that the three arms of government, judiciary, executive, legislature, is not independent. And that is why you see the only thing now what we do as members of parliament, we get tired of them and we go back just to focus on developing your people through the CDF kit. And that is maybe what I can just say. And maybe, that's what I can just say about it.
Do you feel powerless being part of the minority parliament?
Yeah, definitely, because number one, who makes now the decision? The majority leader, minority. And they sing like choirs. People cannot speak their minds. People will always speak looking back and say that who is my political party leader, what is he talking, what is his position? So we must start now thinking about the moment the member of parliament, in fact, going forward, we must even these things to do with the political parties must die, because they are not helping. Okay, anyway, to some extent, you could see, because there are some members of Kawira, let's say, for example, she's an independent candidate. But we can also as well say, let us have political parties, right? But a president, let's not have a president who is from a political party. A president should just be, you see countries like Morocco, we just have a king, it's just there. Then we have the prime minister running the errands. It's just there as a symbol of national unity. And that is how the countries, so they look at the UK, and that is how you see, but those countries that have developed, maybe we have copied the system of America, but it's not working for us. So the presidency has got everything. And that's why unapata hii maneno ya tribalism bado ina exist. Once you go back to your people, umesikia mambo ya mlima, mambo ya wapi, wale wengine wanaenda, sisi watu wa Eldoret, we are standing in solidarity with our son. And that is it. Looking positions in terms of, nikiweka hii kabila hii, nilete wale wengine. So we must look at our constitution if we want to make our country move forward and have systems that are working. That president should not be of any political party. Right? That's number one. And then number two, we just have like a prime minister running. And maybe this prime minister should be elected by the members of parliament. So that now in the case, if he's not doing what he's supposed to do, he can be fired. This will heal this country totally. You must listen. We are the people's representative. And the article in the, I don't know which is the article, the Constitution, article number 1 is about the people. And article number 1 of the Constitution is about the people, right? And when it talks about the people, they have the sovereign power belongs to the people. And who are the people's representative? is the members of parliament because they give us the powers.
Yeah.
But now that power again has been taken away. Even the president is not the first part is the people.
Yeah.
Then the people gives the members of parliament the representative. Then the president comes the other side.
Yeah.
So what are we saying? That if we want our country to move forward, we must make president to be a symbol of national
Unity.
Yeah. And once we have the symbol of national unity, he will only be there to unite the people. To unite the
people.
But now the rest of the operation remain to this cabinet. We have other ways of doing it.
Yeah.
We might even look on the basis of qualifications. Like you qualified in this, what are you bringing on board? People apply. And people come and present with no political party, do you front who you apana. Should never be that.
Yeah.
Then we will have sorted out this country.
Yeah.
All the problems. If there is corruption anywhere, we sort it out. Yeah. That is how we're going to kill but with this one, even after the election.
Yeah.
Tupate tena president mwingine huyu alikuwa mbaya. So we should not depend on who is going to be the president. In fact, it should be like none of our issue because the systems must work.
Yeah.
It's just like, for example, me today. I'm a member of parliament today in Mumias constituency. But there comes a time I also know, despite of all things that I do, I know my role. I know how to balance my work. And I have to serve the people.
Yeah.
So that's what I've just learned in the parliament.
All right. So what can you say are some of the 2 priority projects you have in Mumias East?
Number 1, what I'm looking at is just 2 things that I'm focusing on. Number 1 is to focus on economy of my people. We have the economy side.
Yeah.
Empowering my people economically and building the infrastructure. Like now what I mean is economy. How can we also contribute to my people to be more wealthy than I found them? And that is what now I'm doing. I've constructed, like in terms of economy, I've made sure that Mumias Sugar is running.
Mumias Sugar is running?
It's running 100% and I'm giving them full support.
Okay.
And it is operating because of the goodwill they have of me. I made a lot of shouts before I became a member of parliament. When I became a member of parliament, I'm so keen about it. And I've stopped all kind of politics about Mumias Sugar. Even I myself, I'm not even supposed to talk about it and say that I'm the one who brought it.
Yeah.
I'm the one who did it. I want it just to be cool and do its operation in quiet. And that is one of the biggest achievements that maybe I'll call myself for my I've done. Then number 2, I'm also coming up with the 2 institutions to make them be vibrant, the KMTC and another TTI, building big infrastructure in both the 2 of 50 million each, and which I believe once we complete, we'll have enough students of Kenya Medical Training College and the Wanka Technical College, where now they will be able to drive even the economy in my constituency.
Yeah. And
then also another thing I'm also doing is I'm putting women into groups. I give them projects they do and they make money on their own. That those who are doing soap making, that those who are doing mat making, that those who are doing bakery, that those who are doing shoe making, and many other projects that they are doing. And then I'm also trying to bring youth into groups to do business and all that. Then in terms of education, because education is an equalizer.
Yeah.
Making sure that all students, even those who completed class 8 and dropped on the way, I have partnered with Kenya Commercial Bank. We bring them NITA program to train them how to be welders, to train them to be to do things food and beverage, short courses that takes 6 months. We give you, we fund you again with the start of capital. That is what we're doing. We're also doing 100% transition from Form 4 to TTIs, that everybody in my mother Form 4, we must make sure that he has proceeded to do a certificate course, a diploma course, or he has proceeded to the university. That's what we are doing. Then infrastructure side, building modern toilets into our primary schools. Like so far, we've done almost 34 of them into primary schools. We do septic, tiles. Then so wakati najaa just inatolewa tu. So that one is bringing down the cost of digging a new pit latrines everywhere in the compound, and also on the cost. We have done in many schools. We are doing also renovation in all schools, whereby we do terrazzo, we raise the new roof, we raise the whatever. So that is what we are doing. And many other things that I'm doing in the constituency.
All right. So, Mheshimiwa, you've gained fame on social media platforms, and we can see you're, an active user of Instagram and TikTok. Na tumeona pale you post stuff, eh? So, Mheshimiwa, I would like to ask, do you believe in the legalization of marijuana?
No, it depends. Even in South Africa, they have legalized it. So, but it depends with who to use. Because you see now again, the problem is one, like the moment you legalize, like for me, I know how to use it.
So people, you're a user?
So there are those who doesn't know how to use it. So you must also be regulated. They must be regulated. Like, because we need to have a research. I don't want to talk about that it should be legalized. I don't want to be so much extreme. But it depends with who you are. So if you can manage yourself, better for you. If you can't manage, like for me, if you can't, leave it. It's sometimes for fun, but if you can't,
do you think you posting about it taints a bad image?
Sorry? No, because I know myself. First of all, I always talk about that. Even if you who you are, know who you are, know you are. You wanasema bidhaa nini hao, you should know yourself. You should know who you are, your value. Know your value. Know who you are. Have you ever understood who you are? And it's like people can speak everything, every dirty thing you can do, but back at yourself. Say, this is now me. This is now me. So in life, by the way, I don't know how to pretend. And if I pretend today, because they know that is me. They know. Sasa unajua kuna character nyingine huwezi badilisha. Ukibadilisha, oda nasema kama huko anasema unaona ameanza madharau. So unaona squeeze salamii watu. So unaona squeeze acheki. So unaona pesa inabadilisha mtu. So you remain and they like it that way. So sometimes I always say that never pretend of who you are. If you love God like with all your passion. Do it. Speak about it. I love God, by the way. And I always speak to myself. Sometimes what do I do? And I'm also a very prayerful man. Apart from kushafanya vipindi zote, you have to go back to my knees. Oh my God. I love you, my God. You are so great. You're so awesome. You have to pray. You have to praise your God. You are creator. Kwani ulijiumba hapa?
Hapana.
Hakuna kujiumba. And then also, what matters in life is about how do you care about the humanity? How do you live with other people? The moment now you realize you're living so well with other people, God also gets happy with you. You treat your people well, serving them well. God gets happy of you. And He leads you, He guides you. And Mambo ingine yote inakuwa ni stories za
Java. All right, Mheshimiwa, we've seen you've shown interest in Huda. Mmeongea, amejibu DM. How is it so far?
Na Huda. She's a good girl. She's a very good girl. The reason why I'm saying that Huda is a good girl is because number one, she's a socialite, right? Who has been in the industry for some time, right?
For a long time,
right?
Yes.
But Huda has used her beauty or her socialite life to come up with a product line of beauty. And that is what I want the socialites and it's just a lesson. And that is CBC. Turning what you love so much into something bigger and bigger and bigger.
Have you guys talked? Have you guys talked?
With Huda?
Yes, with Huda.
In which way?
DM.
DM.
Phone call. Alisema, you're just writing paragraphs but hautumi kitu.
Mashairi.
Hautatoboa mashairi bila pesa utoboi mkijua
Let me tell you one thing that maybe you don't understand. Like, in this life, you take it easy. You take it easy. And never be afraid to speak of your mind.
Yes.
Yeah, and even women outside there, ukipenda mwanaume, please approach that man and tell him, like, I love you. I just like, man, if a man can approach a woman can approach a man, that indeed I love you, I want you. And that is where we are going, by the way. I want men who are there, women who are there, please. Usikufe ati stigmatization. Don't stigmatize yourself. And just like you look down at me. No, come out and you look me as so cheap. Who told you? We are all human. The difference is only that a man and a woman. So a woman should also come to a man. When God created Adam and Eve, sindio?
Yes.
Kwani tulikuwa na Adam alikuwa kwa bibi wengine huko nje?
Hapana. Hapana.
Sasa alimletea akasema ndio huyu. Sijui alikutana aje. Walikutana aje. Ulifanya CR, mimi nilifanya CR. So, your story, I need to go back and read. How did Eve and Adam met?
God created Adam and he created Eve out of Adam's rib.
Yes. Sasa, did they talk about who approached who? They never say that.
Ilikuwa patanisho, Mungu alifanya patanisho.
Ilikuwa patanisho. Sasa kama wewe umepata revelation ya kwamba huyu alimempenda, why do you hide yourself? Why do you hide yourself like you don't want him? You want him but you don't want to tell. Si umwambie mimi nakutaka. Ambie pia mimi nakutaka. Basi wacha tutakane basi. Alafu isonge mbele. And that is how. Or else, tumesema Vision 2040. Vision 2040, tumesema we should not have any single woman there outside there. All women should be married who are at the age of, should be married. Because even during those days, men were marrying 3 wives, 4 wives, 7 wives, 10 wives.
Would you marry more than 2?
Mimi sinisema ndaoa watu bibi watatu.
Huda akakubali.
No, woman should accept. Now, no, achana mambo na utoboi. Sasa hii tuko kwa mambo ya and that is why you find like there are so many single women outside there. Because single women, they are single women because they are choosy.
Yeah.
They are choosy. They are choosy. Is it choosy or choosy? They are choosy. Yeah. Don't be choosy. They should always be open and embrace whatever comes on their way. Number one, just say, don't violate man. As long as you go na mwanaume wa kumchapa. The rest, these men are very good. Men are very good. And these women who are always on the phones of men, checking like, hey, nani amekupigia simu? Who are you talking with? Kidogo umetuma simu, mtoto atanacheza hivi, na kumbe analetea mamake simu, ama anafanya hivi, na anajua namba ya mama. Anaangalia na mtumia messages, mama angalia, na anacheza. And that is happen. Mama anataka kuona hiyo simu, anatumia mtoto. Mtoto naye ndio huyu ako kwa bedroom. Mama ameipata, umeongea na nani? Hizo namba zinapiga frequent. Ameweka X, ameweka nini? You know, they are very innovative. And then it brings a lot of infighting. Once our man, and I want to tell the men there, and there are no women there outside there. I'm not a woman, but I want to tell them from the man's perspective that men, they feel so good when a woman doesn't monitor them. They feel like they want to have freedom. Men want freedom. They don't want to be like, for me, mtuka mimi sasa nataka freedom to do my things. But at the end of the day, I know that I have a wife. A woman ambaye anaamka asubuhi na mpikia chai, they feel like fika. Unaona? Men will feel like my wife loves me. You know, ukifika pale ukiwa na dem mwingine, unajua unaweza kuwa na madem wawili wenye sasa sisi wenye hatujaoa bado. Same for example. Huyu anakutreat hivi, Yaani ukikutana na dem pesa. Kutana anakunulia akikupeleka viatu very expensive. So, ukiangalia unasema na ule mwingine yako tu sawa. So you will always be comfortable to meet with that one. Mwenye anakusumbui. Pia anajikaza. And that is the secret behind being a woman to be loved. Men hata kushughulika. In fact, akiwa huko siwezi hanya bibi yangu. Unaona? Na bibi pia wakubali wanaume waoe na bibi zingine. Because akikuolea ataenda kucheza huko nje. Unajua like leo wako kwa nani? Kisha atanirudia tu. Atakuja hapo. Lakini sasa saa hii mamorio wa saa hii hawataki hivyo. Ndio unaona saa hii divorces ziko mingi.
So una approve side chick? Una approve mwanaume kuwa na side chick? Mwanaume
sisemi ati side chick. Ukimkazia sana ndiye atakuwa na side chick. Sasa atakuwa anaacha simu kwa gari ya kuongea na side chick. Anakuja sasa, akikuja kwa nyumba, oh baby, you know I love you, oh baby. Akienda nyumba huko nje, mnyama. So, ndio tunasema wanawake, our ladies, you know, ladies, they don't like being addressed to be told the truth. But the truth is, ladies, just be good, just be loving. What does the Bible tells you about a woman? Be submissive. Be submissive. No, I'm just saying, the only thing that a woman should be keen about it. Mwanaume mwenye wakuchapa mwanamke. Huyo ndio mwanaume mbaya. The rest of other qualities, it is just applies. It's just okay. It's just okay. Na hii maneno hii utapata saa hii wanaume wanakaa vizuri. Kitambo ulikuwa unaona kama huko kwetu. Huko kwa wanga. Mwanaume sasa yeye ako na kanyumba kake special katikati. Mwingine ako pale, nyumba mkubwa iko pale, ya bibi mdogo iko pale, ya bibi katikati iko pale, ya ule mwingine yuko katikati. Na anakaa pale. Sasa pale unamletea chakula. Anakulako ya huyu anaona ina taste vizuri. Anakulako ile. Akaenda operation hivi ile narudi kwa nyumba yake pale. Anasema leo niko hapa. So that is the nature of men. So men cannot be controlled and be controlled. But anyway, I'm just saying. But kuna wale wanaume wazuri wenye wamekuwa faithful ama wanaume ambao they are contented. We congratulate. But kuna wale wanyama, wale wengine wasumbufu kama kina sisi hapa. Tunataka kuwa na kategori yetu. Lazima tuelewe. So, one lesson I'm just saying in an open is that men, they want to be free. Alafu na wanawake wakubali. Now, unajua during those days, and I like, I don't know, is it because from our culture, you know, the women of nowadays, a woman has money. A woman has money. But that money, pesa yake ni pesa yake. Pesa ya mwanamke ni pesa ya mwanamke. Pesa ya mwanaume ni pesa ya familia. Na hii ndio kitu ambayo inafanya men they die very quickly. Because they suffer. They're under depression. Lakini sasa tunasema kwamba a new generation, a new vision of 2040 ni ya kwamba women should also support their men.
Yeah.
Mwingine akifanya hii kazi kidogo, mwingine anafanya hii. Si ndio? Lakini sasa anaona ati akimpatia pesa, anataka kwenda kuona pesa anafanyia nini.
Yeah.
Pia wewe msurprise, babe, enda tumia hii pesa, fanya chenye unataka. Lakini anaona like anamkazia pesa kila kitu ndio asikue na pesa ya kwenda kutembea huko nje. Pia he needs also to have social life. Leo nimeongea mambo mengi.
Mheshimiwa, tukimalizia, what's your favorite Kenyan song currently?
Kenyan song?
Yeah, Kenyan song.
Ilikuwa ski pressure so high. Unajua mimi mnaona kwa ski my pressure so high. Naimbaga aje? Hii ni wimbo ya nani ya Bien?
Ya Bien. Extra pressure.
Extra pressure. Naimbaga aje? Hebu imba hiyo.
Extra pressure baby when you whine.
So unaona tabia ni sababu unaona unafanya hivi yani inakuchaka. So it's my best song.
It's your best song.
I think hiyo. Which category?
Uko na nyingine?
Gani?
Any other song that's your favorite apart from you?
Unajua kuna tofauti.
Hip hop, unasikizanga hip hop? Unasikizanga Calligraph Jones?
Kama nimesikia ametoa ingine chanuka kama Salasya. Nimeona ametoa mstari Calligraph Jones. I salute you. Hiyo wimbo sasa ni collabo. Ukuje tupige. Unikwe kwa hiyo video yako, najua unataka kutoa video. Lazima unipige. Na nifanye nitoe kipindi hapo Calligraph Jones, and you are an amazing. By the way, the influencers of Kenya, I think, and I want to appreciate all the influencers of Kenya. These people are so amazing. And that is one thing I've learned about these people, is that God gives you influence to oversee some things, to give direction. And all of them, they're leaders. Calligraph Jones, you're a leader. Kuna Huda pia, she's a leader. Kuna Asia leader. Kuna Bien pia leader. Kuna nani mwingine? Wale nazongea wale ma-influencer wetu wenye tumesimama na sisi Gen Z. Kama mimi chairman wa Gen Z.
Wewe ni chairman
wa Gen Z. Na wengine, they are leaders. They have followers like 1,000 millions of people.
Yeah.
And they stood with the Kenyans and say, no, we cannot let Kenya to go into dogs.
Yeah.
Because the kind of the inflation could have come through that finance bill. Could be something else.
Yeah.
So I want to salute all the influencers, all the social media bloggers, and everybody, wale kwa X, kina Amerix, and others. They are there. They know themselves.
Yeah.
I want to congratulate so much. You are given that influence because God knew the role that you're going to play in this country. So I love the Kenyan musicians. Calligraph Jones.
Who's your favorite artist? Favorite artist.
Favorite artist?
Yes, Kenyan artist.
Kenyan artist. Nipatie option.
Willy Paul.
Willy Paul. Bahati. Bien.
Otile Brown. Chagua mmoja hapo.
Aya, kwa wale nyumbani nimeona na macho yangu. Mwenye nimeona. Nimeona sisemi ati wote they are the best. Bahati at least tulishaongea kwa naye, tuliwahi kutana kwa naye once. Otile Brown tulikuwa naye kwa matanga ya nani. He's a very humble guy. Alisalamia kwa heshima.
Okay.
He's a good man. Nani mwingine? Nani sija mention? Bien sijakutana naye.
Willy Paul.
But he also loves culture.
Yes, he does.
He loves culture. Hata song zake niliona ni msee huko Busia. He's also a good man. Though I've never met with him, but he's a good person. Nani mwingine nisijakaona? Willy Paul. Willy Paul sasa mimi sijamjua. vizuri nimesikia music yake but sijamjua, sijaikutana naye. You know, it's also sometimes when you meet somebody other than unajua mtu wa vipindi. So unaona kama unakuwa mtu wa vipindi, lakini ukikutana na mimi one mazee, huyu kijana mzuri, kijana mahabu, anaongea saa ngapi? So we have those guys. I've told you.
Favorite or which other musician do you enjoy listening to?
Other musician.
Inaweza kuwa hata ni waingo wa huko kwenyu.
Wote ni wazuri. Sasa unajua music ina depend uko wapi.
Yes.
But Kenyan music's good. Tulikutana juzi, tumekuwa na wazito wangu wakina Wairei, wakina Kenrez, kina Timidad. Hiyo pia ni rende yangu. So anyway, what I can just say that the best. Everybody has his own weaknesses, has his own strengths, and I'm praying for them to continue doing whatever they're doing.
Okay. So tukimaliza nataka tucheze ka game kadogo kanaitwa Would you rather, una choose moja. Would you rather live in the city or live in the countryside? Unaweza ishi Ushago ama city? Unaweza chagua gani? Village. Would you rather visit the past or visit the future?
Visit the future, definitely. But the past also is very important. It teaches you it teaches you some things.
Where you've come from.
Where you've come from and where do you want to go. It is like a dimension or whatever.
Okay. Would you rather own a boat or own a plane? Boat. Would you rather own a boat? Ama ndege?
Ndege, definitely. Sasa ndaenda aje kwa boat.
Okay. And before we continue, who are your two best friends in parliament? Your two best friends.
My two friends. My two friends. One of the friends wangu, Jalas is my friend. Din is my friend. I just say like most of them they're my friends. Lakini sasa ina depend wote ni marafiki zangu. Hakuna yani mimi ni mtu social, so I like people who are social. All of them are my friends. I don't have a problem. Mimi ukinikosanisha naenda kwa na call out, tukikutana tusalamiana. So I don't have my best, I don't have my worst. They're all my friends.
Oh, friends. All right, thank you so much for coming to this podcast. Mheshimiwa, we appreciate for your time. So guys, that was the MP for Mumias East, right? Peter Salasya. All right, so guys, see you on the next one.